10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good. Under here. Roll under the bed.
Slide over here. Slide over here. You drop on the shots like this. You go here. Here. Here.
If I get him where I need him to be, he's gonna sleep for sure. Soften him up, then fry him.
Reports say Floyd Mayweather has reconnected with Gervonta Tank Davis for an intense training session ahead of the much-anticipated fight with Jake Paul. Despite past disagreements, the boxing legend appears fully focused on helping Tank get ready for the big stage. Insiders describe the reunion as a professional move built on respect and shared goals. Both men understand the magnitude of this fight and the spotlight it brings. Fans are now wondering whether this renewed partnership could be the secret weapon that gives Tank an extra edge on fight night.
Fans, the real ones that know that this is no easy fight. He's very skilled, and I'm going to go on the line and say this may be the most skillful person that Tank has faced thus far.
I just don't want to look bad come fight night. My biggest fear has been embarrassed, especially in front of like all these people, like worldwide. Then you be like, come this mean for that, like, you know, like I ain't got time for that. I'm not trying to go out get my butt kicked.
Many fans believe Mayweather's presence brings priceless knowledge and championship experience, especially when facing someone as unpredictable as Jake Paul. Their reunion has sparked major excitement and talk across the boxing world. It's seen as a signal that this event is more than just entertainment. It's a serious contest. With Floyd back in Tank's corner, expectations have risen even higher. Observers think this partnership could shape Tank's strategy and mindset in ways that only a legend like Mayweather can.
Just want things right now. They want to see nothing but excitement. They want to be entertained. They don't want to pay a lot of money to come to a fight to watch two guys just jab, 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 grab.
Gervonta Davis has earned a reputation for pushing his limits every time he enters training camp, and this one is no exception. New footage and inside reports show him drilling speed, precision, and explosive strength with unmatched focus. Coaches say he's sharper than ever. His punches are crisp, and his movements carry purpose. His footwork sessions look quicker and smoother, allowing him to control the ring with ease. Tank's team knows this fight demands perfection, so they're fine-tuning every detail. Whether it's timing, angles, or defense, his intensity shows just how seriously he's preparing for Jake Paul. His mindset remains simple. Stay focused. Leonard Ellerbe recently praised Tank's ability to deliver excitement like no other fighter today. He said people don't just watch Tank to see who wins. They come for the energy, the unpredictability, and the moments that stay with you long after the fight ends. Ellerbe emphasized that fans want real action, not just another sparring match. Tank understands this better than anyone, bringing both skill and showmanship to every bout. His knockouts aren't just victories. They become highlights that fans talk about for years. This upcoming fight with Jake Paul gives him yet another chance to prove why he's considered one of the most thrilling fighters of his generation.
Just want things right now. They want to see nothing but excitement. They want to be entertained. They don't want to pay a lot of money to come to a fight to watch two guys just jab, 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 grab, jab, grab. Again, that's why Tank Davis is the most exciting fighter in the entire world, because he gives the fans exactly what they want.
And speaking of familiarity, you mentioned that earlier. This is somewhat of a familiar foe in Oscar De La Hoya via Ryan Garcia, Floyd Mayweather, Tank Davis. There's some old connotations there. How much is Mayweather Promotions, the PBC, looking to deal a blow to the Golden Boy brand by knocking out their stalwart in Ryan Garcia?
Oh, that's happening. That's happening. And then again, it's always good. You know, it's great it'll be great for Tank.
Former champion Paulie Malignaggi has voiced concern about where boxing is heading. In his view, the Tank versus Jake matchup feels more like a spectacle than a true sporting contest. He worries that decades of tradition and fair competition are being overshadowed by fame and media hype. Malignaggi argues that when fights lose balance, their meaning weakens. Real fans want to see evenly matched talent, not popularity-driven events. Speaking with Chris Algieri, he stressed that the sport must return to its roots, focusing on elite matchups that keep boxing's credibility intact. For him, protecting the integrity of the sport matters.
Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture.
You can't manufacture.
To a degree, you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweights.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
current champions.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way we did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know, the way they did when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No,
and
because
Teddy
he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time fought.
Teddy Ellis will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of
Witherspoon. That were afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who I contract contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you going to fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone. There was nobody there in that era that you can say Tyson didn't fight.
Didn't say it was related. It was the same as the Tyson era. Didn't say it at all. I was actually going to say the opposite when you talk about Trent.
Floyd Mayweather's impact on boxing remains unmatched, and rumors about his next move show just how much influence he still has. Analysts suggest his interest in a possible fight with Tyson reflects his desire to stay visible and relevant. Even in retirement, Floyd thrives on competition and the spotlight. It's part of who he is. His involvement in Tank's camp and the growing attention around Jake Paul may have reignited that familiar spark. Whether the Tyson talk becomes reality or not, one thing is
celebrities and so many people that are known where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Let me say Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about whether...
Promoter Eddie Hearn believes that while boxing must remain entertaining, it cannot lose its foundation of fair and credible matchups. He warns that letting social media popularity decide who gets big fights could damage the sport's reputation. To Hearn, Tank vs. Jake is a fun crossover event, but not a true reflection of world-class competition. He insists that rankings and skill should guide matchmaking, not online hype. If the line between spectacle and sport keeps blurring, future generations may grow confused about what real championship boxing looks like. His bottom line:
we care about the fight no more, starting to lose a little steam.
But I'm saying, I mean, if he stops Pitbull Cruz, right? I mean, don't you think that people would want to see, Lamont and Tank more due to the fact that, Tank had a hard time with Pitbull?
No. I think people just want to see Tank versus Lamont because Lamont, he had a hard time with Lamont. It's just like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. People just like controversy. People just like, you know what I'm saying? So people like to see finished business. They don't want to leave it unfinished. And that's what the intrigue is. They want to people want to see finished business. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the intrigue of the fight. And it doesn't make no sense why they taking so fucking a fight, Everybody keeps saying that Tank getting the money, but is we getting the fucking money?
So, what do you think? Does Mayweather's mentorship give Tank Davis the ultimate advantage? Or are people underestimating Jake Paul's planning once again? Fans are divided, and opinions are heating up. Some see this as a classic student-mentor comeback story, while others believe Jake's strategy and confidence could surprise everyone. Share your thoughts below and join the debate. This matchup is shaping up to be one of the most talked about events of the year.